Hello friends and welcome to my YouTube channel Simply Stocks, and today it is the question and answer session as it's Sunday. So let's have all the questions from the viewers, and also I'll discuss about how will the small cap perform next year and what is the condition of all the small cap stocks and the sector itself. So let's get started. First of all, a disclaimer that this is not a stock recommendation. People taking any position into any share that I talk about should do that with their own due diligence and research, and I'm not in favor or against any company that I talk about. Now, about the small cap index, first of all, the small caps are finding strength around the 13,000 level. So, we have seen that the large caps of the Nifty index have fallen a little bit and then goes up and then falls a lot, but the small cap index is resilient between 13,000 and 13,500 levels. It looks like the bottoming out process is going on in the small cap index, and probably it's going to take another 2-3 months before it finally bottoms out and makes a move. The reason for that is that many of the investors and large HNI investors, etc., are not bullish on small and mid cap because of the economic condition, and this is where the thing bites you in the stock market. When you least expect, things move in the reverse direction. So I am a contrarian player always, and I believe that this is going to turn out to be a sector in which to invest for the next couple of years. We have seen how Nifty has moved over the last couple of years from around 10,000, from around 9,700 levels all the way to 12,000, and now it is the time for the small caps because the correction in the small caps have already been over 35%. Still, the small cap index is down 32% from its peak of 20,200. It's at 13,500. So there's a lot to go in small caps. It is at a very much discount to its large cap peers. It is a complete mirror image of how the market was in late part of 2017. So 2 years ago it was a complete reversal in which the large caps were at discounts, but now these are the small and mid caps or the micro caps which are at discount. And we have seen that some of the small caps are making new highs. So we have seen some stocks in the technology space, some stocks in the consumer space making all-time highs, where some stocks in the infrastructure or capital goods space are making lows. Yes, I agree with that, but there are many which are making new highs, and these are signs of revival in the small and mid cap arena after a lot of slaughter that have taken place post GST and before that during the demonetization phase. So we could see the small cap index coming back from next year. So kindly have a look at some of the best mid and small cap stocks which are debt free, which have good corporate governance and are resolute in nature. Coming to the question answer part, first question that comes to me is from Arvind Punia with a view on Lupin. So he's asking a view on Lupin. Lupin has recovered a lot from the debacle of US FDA clamped down in 2017 and early part of 2018, and they have said that FY20 and FY21 would be very big. So it is a very good investment opportunity at around 770 rupees or lower, and probably you can buy for the next 3-4 years, but do not expect a lot out of it. Probably 12 to 15% yearly is what you can expect from Lupin over the course of the next 3-4 years. So that's my opinion. I'm going to make a video on Lupin in the coming few days, probably in a couple of weeks time, so look out for that as well. There's a question that comes out from Harsh Javeri, and he's asking about the view on methanol alloys, and surely I'll make a video in the next probably in the next week or two on methane alloys. I've looked at the stock. It is resilient around the level it is trading at the moment, but since it is in the commodity business, I don't like to invest in commodities or such stocks. So probably you can go ahead and invest in consumer companies. That is my opinion on first go, but I'll definitely make a video on methane alloys, and probably then you can make a decision. But do your own analysis and due diligence on the stock. There's a request for an uh, a video on or the best price to buy for Aurobindo Pharma by Sambit. Well, I believe that Aurobindo Pharma has been hit by major US FDA issues and probably let it bottom out. I will not suggest a price right now because we could see more downfall in the stock, but even at around 380 400 levels it looks quite good. But let the stock bottom out, let it make some 5-7% moves, and then trade in it. Never buy a stock that is going down, buy a stock which is going up when you're trading. Kindly make that for sure, and probably look at some of the exponential moving averages and then get into the stock. If you're trying to buy for the long haul, probably look at Lupin as I explained, or look at other pharma companies, because it has been very recent that Aurobindo Pharma has been hit by this US FDA clampdown, and probably it's going to take at least 3 to 6 months for it to come out of it. So let the stock bottom out, let the news flow change to something positive, and then invest in Aurobindo Pharma. Danny Vincent has asked that he has bought 100 shares of Trident at 60 rupees. What should he do? It is a very good company. It supplies towels to Europe and many other products to majorly Europe. And probably what has happened with Brexit and what has happened with all the troubles with the European economy, the company has suffered, and we have seen what has happened with the textile industry. You can watch my videos on Nathan Spinners and on textile industry. You probably have an idea as to what I feel about the sector itself. It is going through a lot of trouble and a lot of slowdown because of government norms, because of what has taken place on the macro level, and hence I believe that staying away from all textile firms would be better rather than investing in it. But if you really want to do it, I think 60 is not a bad level to invest in. Probably have a 5 to 7 year view, and try to buy it once the results turn around and results are pretty good. Then you can keep buying the stock, but be very careful in the textile segment altogether. Jack 3 Men has asked for a view on Cummins, a very good you can say a very good capital goods company, and a very good company in infrastructure space. It provides infrastructure ancillary equipments, but the problem is that the economy has not turned around. So what has happened is they are not getting a lot of orders because there is no demand for such projects, because the infrastructure space has not turned around. Once the infrastructure and the capital goods space here in India turns and becomes big, probably in next year and a half, this will run like anything. And I believe that Cummins is a large cap which is trading at a mid cap valuation, but due to some reasons as I explained. So probably it's a very good stock to invest in because it's very stable, it has a very good management behind it, good dividend yield, etc. But when will it move, when will it really furnish a lot of returns? No one knows, and probably it can happen next year, probably it can happen next month, or probably it will take 5-7 years. I don't know, but it's a very good company to invest in. Yes. There's a question on Jubilant Life and RPG Life, Tirthankar. I'll definitely make videos on Jubilant Life and RPG Life in the coming days. I believe that pharma sector has had its day, but you can make at least 15-20% in both the stocks. So kindly keep that in mind. So both Jubilant Life Sciences and RPG Life Sciences is good. In fact, Jubilant Life has got a couple of orders. I mean, couple of you can say renewals from US FDA. So it has gone through that process of having that US FDA clamp down and coming back from it and getting more nods. Uh, Good company. RPG Life has had a different life cycle altogether, because it was pretty good until the management changed and it sold off to other management, or you can say investors who bought the company, and it is doing well, and it is from the RPG group, etc. But I believe Jubilant Life comparatively is a very good company to invest in. You can look at a 15 to 18% return yearly in it over the next 5 6 years. Tirthankar has also asked that what could be the ideal level for Bandhan Bank to enter. I believe do not enter any banks. These are my opinions. Probably you can take your own decision. After what has happened with RBL Bank, what has happened with DHFL, IDFC, and so on and so forth, many other companies which are probably looking for bank licenses or are banks and so on and so forth. I have a feeling that this whole finance sector of India has gotten so big that it is no longer viable to invest in. Uh, People have, everyone have invested in financials at the moment, and they are invested in it till their necks. And I believe that there are going to be a turnaround over the next year, year and a half, and people are going to go into consumer discretionary. People are going to go into small cap consumption companies, and companies which are unique rather than companies which are pretty evident to everyone and which are moving like anything over the last couple of years. So stay away from already ripe sectors and probably look for companies, unique companies that are making waves across the globe and in India through their businesses. That's my opinion. Probably you can take your own decision onto it. Standard disclaimer apply. Can you review Swiss class code? Is the question from Arun T. Surely I'll do that over the next couple of weeks, Mr. Arun. I have already had a number of queries on different stocks. I have that lined up. So probably in 2 weeks time, 15 16 days time, I'll definitely put that into a video for sure. uh, Shelby Limited, Bajaj Consumer, are they right stock to invest for long term? Shiva Kumari, first of all, thanks a lot. You put up queries every week, and I believe that you watch all my videos. Thanks for that, and thanks for all my subscribers who are subscribed and kindly be with me. And I'm trying to make your life better through this financial investments. Uh, I believe that Bajaj Consumer, I have looked at it and it looks a good company. It has turned around from 3 4 years back, and it is making waves. I am using some of the products of Bajaj and it's doing pretty well. I believe that it is rightly placed to take more market share. Hence, do not look at the PE or anything, but the company itself for the next 2 to 3 years is very good to invest in. Buy on any declines. As far as Shelby is thing, I have to look at the company. I have not looked at it in details, so I'll make a video on Shelby for sure in the next couple of weeks, 2 3 weeks time. Vishwanathan S has said that he's holding Grindwell Norton for the past 2 years. Is it good for long term? Again, the company is into infrastructure and such ancillary products. I believe that if you are invested, kindly stay invested because the turnaround can happen anytime. And surely I'll make a whole video because I need to analyze the company in detail and then suggest you. So I'm going to make a video in it in 2 3 weeks time. Wait for that, and probably you'll get all the answers in that for sure. uh, then there's a question from Yakub Pasha who has said that you make a video on finding undervalued stock and fundamental analysis of how to do fundamental analysis of a stock. This is a very good suggestion, and probably I'll do that straight away in the next 1 week or so, Mr. Yakub. And this is how people could understand more about how to analyze stocks in detail. Although I have touched upon it when I have made a video on how to find out multi-bagger stocks, and that was done about 3 4 months back. So I have said that many times that in order to find or invest in best stocks in the market, be it in India or abroad, it is through a 3 4 way check. A check on debt, that the company should be debt free. a check on the stock price, that the company's PE should not be very high, that you're paying a lot of amount for it, so you're not paying a huge amount of value for it. There should be value in the stock. Check for the moat as to what kind of business it is, and in which sector it is in which country it is in, and what lies ahead for the next 4 or 5 years. If you see a lot of potential in the stock, then you go ahead and invest in it. So moat is extremely important. Check for leadership, and that is the fourth point. So leadership is extremely important. The company should be a market leader in its space, or at least second rung to market leader. So Asian Paints and Berger Paints both can find the bill, because Berger Paints cannot take over Asian Paints, but can take a little bit of market share and still move ahead. But Asian Paints is the market leader. Go ahead and buy it. If you would have bought it in 2016, you would have made money. 13, you have made money, and even today you're making money. And probably on any declines, if you put money into Asian Paints, you're going to make 15% yearly for sure. So check for leadership for sure. So these 3 4 pointers you need to check, and the management itself. Look for management commentary of beforehand. Look for how they have told about the future prospects, say 2 years back, and how the company has performed. If there is a kind of semblance of similarity, and you're able to compare both the things together, and they are producing results as to what they have said, then that is a very good company to invest in for the long haul. So this was my video on the question and answer session. Thanks a lot for watching, and thanks a lot for putting up the question. There are 4 5 questions that I've left out, which I'll take up in the next week's queries for sure. And probably in a couple of weeks time, I'm going to put up a live session as well, so look out for that as well. Please like and subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon so that you can get my videos straight away when I post it. Thanks a lot for watching.